A very good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. A very happy Friday to you as well. I said I'd pop on tonight, have a chat with you for about 40 minutes. Just the daily news, what's happening and what's actually not happening as we are Celtic fans. We're getting very impatient. You know, the window is closing at 11 o'clock on Monday night. And as you see there on the title, will Celtic get three players in by Monday, 11 o'clock? Look, we're linked to obviously a good few wingers. We're not linked to particularly any other players in other positions, which is quite concerning as well. And there wasn't any talk today of any players in their potential squad maybe going out as well. I was just thinking about this as much as we're looking at a right winger and Yang's been playing on the right wing. We need to remember as well, and transfer deadline day in the last window, which was when we saw Adamida as well. Yang, his deal to Birmingham broke down last minute. Is it a case that Yang is trying to play every skin to get a move away from Celtic in this window? Perhaps. I don't think he's after coming on to his game since Martin O'Neill came in. I think he's been brilliant. I'm going to pick things or comments up and have a chat with you as well. Good bit to talk about tonight as well. First of all, Stuttgart in the Europa League. So last night I done a podcast. I was either saying it's going to be Fenerbahce or Stuttgart, and we've got Stuttgart at home because we were the unseeded team because where we finished in the Europa League. So we'll play them at Celtic Park on the 19th of February, on the Thursday, and then we'll play them away over in Stuttgart on the 26th. Is the 26th, is it? Let me see now. Where's my calendar when I need it? Yeah, the 26th. 26th is going to be. So, and then we're off to Ibrox 3 days later to play against Rangers. Well, yeah, I said I'd pop on tonight. Not expecting many to pop in. It's quite late. Um, the situation regards as far as Yemes, it looks like we are still talking to that Serie B side. I'll show you now. The source is Anthony Joseph on X, across his socials as well. So the update is Celtic and Frosinone are still a part of the structure of the deal for winger Fares Gemes. That's I'm just going to pronounce it Hemes or Gemes until if he's actually signed, that we can actually get the pronunciation better. Um, the club are still looking for a deal worth around 6.5 million, most of all being. Look, I'll be honest with you, I think that's a lot of money for a guy that's playing Serie B. I think I'm surprised Celtic are even considering this, to be honest. 6.5 million. 6.5 million for a guy that's playing Serie B. He's never played Serie A football. He's from France. He's never came through like any sort of under 19s or 20 level for France. I think it's a massive gamble. And if I was to play it safe, I'd go for Mass Renise off Motherwell. At least you know there's a guy. At least you know there's a guy that's established himself in the Scottish League. He has 15 goals this season. Well, 16 goals this season now for Motherwell. Why are we not taking a punt with this guy? Is it a case that Celtic are afraid to go in to Motherwell and actually make a formal approach, and Motherwell and trying to look for higher than what we were expecting? If I was Celtic, I'd go in with 4 million and Stephen Welch and get Masrani says. I just think there's no point of us trying to get a lad from Serie B. Yes, he has similarities to Liel Abade, quite effective on that right wing, very skillful, good shot on him, but I just think it's an absolute joke. Absolute joke. How's it going, Mark? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Paul. How are you getting on, Rab? It's good to see the numbers tuning in. But regards to the other guy we're looking at that's playing in Slovakia, Damir Recic, the Hungarian winger who's been captain of his country once. And he literally came on for a couple of minutes against Ireland in that the Irish famous victory over in Budapest. There's talks of obviously he's agreed a verbal agreement with RB Salzburg, but the club haven't been his current club are not impressed, so he's still on the market. Looks quite impressive over in Slovakia. He's done quite well over there, 22 years of age. Um, I think we're as the title says, desperate times, and I think we panic buyed on Taneki when you go back to the last transfer window. We could have got him cheaper, but instead Celtic were literally playing the biscuit 10 mentality, stalling off. Oh, we'll think about it, we'll come back to you, we'll think about it, we'll come back to you. There's so much players that we've been looking at and nothing's coming from it. And this is the joys of the transfer window. You go into a shop, you can browse around as much as you want, but if you have a wallet full of cash at your disposal and you know that there's big events coming up, which is the big games, and you want to take it serious, you got to spend your money. You got to spend your money. And I really believe that this board are not being serious about wanting this title. I know Sean Maloney was asked in the press conference today how far they'll be away from signing players. He said he doesn't really want to speculate too much because obviously they're not in the door and you have to give respect to other clubs as well. But it's becoming a joke where even Martin Neal was asked last night in the post match reaction, we're not a million miles away. But in Celtic fans' eyes, it feels like a million miles away because nothing's really happened. We're negotiating. We could negotiate in last minute something, the final hurdle, because something could break down. Fails a medical, doesn't agree, personal terms, doesn't they're not happy with the duration of the contract. These type of things people forget about. And just go in and get the guy from Motherwell. I just think it's a no-brainer. Now we've seen that we were linked with Kieran Bowie in recent times. He's actually joined Hellas Verona in Serie A for a deal that was nearly up to 6 million quid. Hibs put the valuation of 6.5 on him. They sold him to Italian football because they didn't want to sell him domestically. That's why they put the price up on him. I wish Kieran Bowie the very best over in Italy. It's good to see Scottish players go over to Italy and trying to make an account for themselves. And a part of me feels like did we miss out on this guy? Yeah, his goals to games ratio isn't the greatest for Hips this season, but he knew the league. Would would you swap the league for winning the UEFA League Cup, Europa League Cup? Yeah, because if you win the Europa League, you get straight into the Champions League next season, and then plus it's a European final, and it'd be unbelievable. But I don't really think we have the squad to win the Europa League. Personally, I just don't think we have the core in that squad to win the Europa League, and I think people are thinking too much into the whole Stuttgart thing. We played Stuttgart and on the road to Seville. Will it be the same fairy tale? All this jazz. I'm sorry. That squad we had were proper leaders. That squad, you could put a captain armband on any of them players and they would act like a captain. I just feel like we don't have that. We don't have that leadership in the squad. Handful of players. You know, I just I've said this already in the channel and I'll say it again. I think the Europa League isn't good for Celtic this season in the situation we're in because we want to win this league. You need to be playing less games in other competitions. You need to be having the eyes on the prize, as they say. And it doesn't benefit Celtic fans when you see Hearts are out of cup and they could potentially play a game that weekend and they're getting more ground. And on top of that as well, we're playing catch up on a Sunday while Hearts and Rangers are playing on a Saturday. That's going to affect your mentality as well. I know players go into approach the games as you just think of the opposition in front of them, but that will affect the mindset as well. Um, you'd rather win the league than Europa League. Look, As I said, if we had the squad that we had last year, I think we would have a good punt in the Europa League this season. But we've lost them key assets, them O'Reillys. Not even well, Matt O'Reilly left at the start of last season. Just say Kyogo, O'Reilly, Kuhn, having them type of players, I think we would have had a really good punt with the Europa League. But sadly, we don't have enough. Now, obviously, it's going to be home debut for Tomas Konvarat this weekend. The Czech international, he'll make his home debut against Falkirk. Hopefully, obviously, get on the score sheet. On top of that, as well, Falkirk are really good sides. John McGlynn has done a really good job with them. They're pushing for top six. For a side that's only been promoted, will Calvin Miller come back and haunt us at Celtic Park? He's done well for them as well. We just got out of jail against them less than a month ago. Up in Falkirk, Benjamin Egan's goal. So it's not going to be a stroll in the park for Celtic. What I would try to say to fans is, don't think about other games that are on the same day. Obviously, Rangers are playing this weekend. Don't be thinking about their results. Don't be thinking about Hearts playing whoever they're playing this weekend. I think it's Dundee United, and they've St Mirren away as well. Coming up, don't be worrying about them. It's about what we do with our own house. It's about what we make the noise from our own house. And it feels like there isn't enough noise being made from the fans. Yes, the Green Brigade released a statement today that the ban's still in place, and you know, will we see the Green Brigade back at Celtic Park? I don't really know. It's obviously killing the atmosphere in the stadium. I know we have the other ultras, the boys in the other far corner, but it's up to every other Celtic fan to be there and to be heard. Let the people sing, as they always say. It's mind boggling that you're really getting a full house, but yet you hear the odd song. Like Celtic Park was known as being a fortress where the fans get behind their team. As I said last night, it's down to a bit of a disconnection. The whole vibe around this season, and you really wanted to come out of the storm and be positive and want to win this league, but business needs to be done. Jamie Flannery, I hope you're doing well. But I think 6.5 million for a winger in Serie B, I think it's desperation. I think it's complete desperation. The most I pay for the guy is about 4 million. I know he's only 23, but come on. How far does this go? How far does this go where we're going into leagues where we're trying to pick out these so-called gems? Don't get me wrong, like in the past, we've scouted Abada from the Israeli league, and he was an absolute gem for us. We have gone in and scouted some players, but from different leagues, and it's paid off. But it's just we're in the middle of a season. We are 6 points behind Hearts. We're third place in the league, and I've people said to me earlier on, a guy at work was said, he goes, it's either win the league or finish third. There's no point finishing fucking second at this rate. You finish in second and you're still going to be upset. You're still going to be broken. And it's not about, oh, I finished ahead of Rangers. Oh, I finished ahead of Hearts. You need to win the whole thing. Go in. And we have the money at our disposal. Money at disposal. While Hearts and Rangers are getting players in, why is it not selling to players? Why is it not looking lucrative to players? Is it just the board's mentality? Is it the way they approach players? Is it the way that they, like, as I said this so many times on my channel, Celtic Football Club should sell for itself. The name should sell for itself. And it isn't selling. It isn't selling. Fans are not even buying their stuff anymore because of the incompetence of the board, the failure of the board's operations with communicating with fans, with the lack of communication. You know, it's It's just it really is a bad state of affairs when you're 70 million in the bank and your club not willing to spend 10 million on getting two players in, not willing to get it over the line. They've had a full month, yet they've got a guy from Borussia Mönchengladbach on loan and it's costing 41 grand a week and his wages. And then we got a guy from Bournemouth who played literally one game in a whole calendar year. Isn't it just shows that? And he was offered to Celtic. It wasn't the case that we went out and tried to recruit him. He was offered to Celtic. This is the difference. I am. I'm sick of trying to. I'm sick of trying to tell myself we're going to win this league, and realistically, we'll know by Monday night. We will know by Monday night where we're at regards to the shape of our squad. And right now, that squad isn't not going to win the league. You need to stop kidding yourself on and keep saying, "Oh, we have a good chance. Keep. We need to win all our games and hoping other stuff happens." Hoping it shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that. It shouldn't be like that where you're hoping on other teams to do Hearts or Rangers because we couldn't fucking do the job in the first half of the season. Shouldn't be like that. That just shows that the standards have massively dropped. You know, um, it's look, it's going to be interesting. But what I do want to say is, I don't know if you have seen the leaked picture of the new Celtic home and away strip for next season. Show you this now. Where is it? Thanks to Footy Headlines, they put this up. I seen that it was going around yesterday. Stupid ads. They come up everywhere, don't they? So there's the home kit there. Report. This is meant to be the league pick kit for next season. Just waiting for the page to load, folks, so you can see it properly. So I like the goals in the alphabet and in the crest. I thought the alphabet is meant to be going for next season. That was meant to be no betting sponsors in UK football next season, which I think the three Adidas stripes on the shoulders is horrible. I would rather if it was gold. Look what we go back to the 2017 kit, New Balance Brio, the hoops with the gold, iconic, absolutely one of the best jerseys I've ever had. But this is a nice top. I I really do like it. I'm not a big fan of the design around the crest. I know it's for the 60 years Lisbon Lions and stuff, but I just don't know. I really, really don't know. It's one of these things where you have to see it on a player. Like, don't get me wrong, if I was to rate it out of 10 right now, probably give it about seven, seven to be honest. Now, the away kit, it's grown on me. I like it. I like the away kit. Um, I like the way that we're going back to the old school Adidas logo as well. Where is the? Oh, there it is. There. There's the picture of the. I don't know if that's still popping up for you. Just give me a second now. I want to see if that just jumped off for a minute. Just 2 seconds. Too late to chat. Never too late to chat. It's never too late to chat, folks. How's it going, Deborah? How's it going, Tom? Never too late. People do chats at 7 o'clock in the morning, do podcasts and all that. You got to think about this channel. We have subscribers from all over the world. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, America, and it's good to engage with these folk because if I can get on and do a live and try talk some sense, I will. But that's the away kit there in the right hand side. Dark green, I like it with the black in it. I do like the stripes in it. I do. People are. I've seen on a podcast here, and people are like, "What is this?" So basically, what I think this is because you played Inter Milan. I think it's because Inter Milan obviously wear their stripes down, and then we wore our stripes across. That's what I think that little badge is meant to be to commemorate the victory in the 25th of May in 1967. Well, what a night! I have to say, I like this kit. Hopefully, it's like dark shorts as well, because you go back to the Nike Lisbon Lions kit of 708. We had a dark green kit that year. It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. They won't need to worry about kits if they blow this league away Well, look, to be honest with you, I don't think I'll be buying the kit anyway next season. As much as I want to buy it, I'm just, to be honest, I'm just done giving the money to the club that they don't put the money back into the most valuable thing, which is the squad at a serious level. They do put the money in, but not at the level where you think, right, you're after making a 5x on the player and you're putting it maybe a 2x in, you know. They sold what Matt O'Reilly for what 20, was it 28 million or something like that after add-ons and stuff, and he put 12 million into Arnie Ingles. We can all come to accept Arnie Ingles. He's a technically good player, but he's not at the level of Celtic Football Club. Yeah, he scored last night, but I just feel like he needs to be more physical. He needs to be more direct. He's not a box to box player. You know, when he has a bad game, he's down. Like he's one bad decision, he's down. You know, and that's our concern. This is our weak. There's so many weak faults this year. Number one, set pieces. We just keep getting caught out with set pieces, regardless on the Nancy, regardless on the Rogers, regardless. I know we haven't conceded as much goals under Martin O'Neill, which we give Martin O'Neill and the coaching staff a bit more credit. But conceding in Bologna 2 goals, I know we were down to 10 men. Conceding at Tynecastle 2 goals, conceding the other night 2 goals. That's 6 goals in 2 games, in 3 games, folks. Isn't good enough, you know? Isn't good enough. I know we were away from home for 2 games, and we were playing against a really good Bologna side, and I hope they do well in the Europa League. I really do. It's another another factor where we're actually lacking as well, which is another is our the so-called midfield engine. We don't have enough characters. When you go back to 2011, you had characters like Scott Brown, Victor Wanyama, Kayal, Joe Veldy, and even you could stick Charlie McGrew in the middle of that midfield, and they done a job. They stepped up and actually wanted to go to war for the Celtic shorts, go into battle. Now you got players where Callum McGregor's pumped up, he's going out there, he's trying to lead the charge, and as I said, he is a good personality, but I just don't think he has the stamina, the engine he once had. You look at Callum McGregor 2, 3 seasons ago, he was unstoppable in that midfield. He gets a goal, comes out with a nice pin goal every 8 games, and people are like, "Oh, that's the Callum McGregor of old." I'm sorry, he's not the Callum McGregor of old. And as I said already in the channel, I wouldn't be devastated if he lost Callum McGregor as a player. I would be devastated if he lost Callum McGregor in the summer. But what am I trying to say? Basically, personality wise, I'd be devastated if he lost Callum McGregor. But as a player wise, I don't think he has the legs. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So I got it jumbled all over the place there. But it's just I don't believe I don't think he can rely on players around him with the likes of Hatate, Bernardo. Bernardo's in and out. Um, you know, Ingles. Ingles is trying so hard to make a point himself, and I think the price tag doesn't help the player as well. I know that sounds weird, but look, he's 22 years of age. He came in a year and a half ago, and look, we've seen doses of what he could do, but it's the consistency you need from Ingles to move up. Um, but you know what? We've had a prime Callum McGregor, and you look. I'm not trying to throw Callum McGregor down under the bus in any shape or form. He's been a phenomenal character in a Celtic shorts from making his debut against Reykjavik in 2014 and scoring over Iceland to now. He's been a phenomenal character, getting that loan move to Notts County to, develop him. And he played with Fozzie at Notts County as well. Um, I just feel like it's concerning. as much as we say we're fans, we don't have a replacement for Callum McGregor. Personally, we don't have it. The closest replacement we have for Callum McGregor is a player that's injured at the moment, which is Alistair Johnson. A phenomenal player. I think he's been unbelievable, but he's had them injuries over the last few years, and we're not going to rush Alistair Johnston back because let's be honest, if I was thinking in a selfish perspective, I wouldn't be rushing back because I know there's a World Cup coming up and I want to be playing that World Cup, especially in my home country. That's what I'd be thinking. And that's just me being honest. If I was Canadian, I'm out to being out for like 3 months or so. I was saying this last night. It's crazy to think that you go back to that Nancy clip where Alistair Johnson's like all smiles, all delighted to see Will for Nancy, and then he didn't get to play walk on the with him. Oh, mental, absolute mental. When does the window shut? The window shuts 11 o'clock on Monday night. So I'll be doing a live from 9 o'clock to 11, a 2 hour special. I'll be on the live talking bish bash shiz. So I hope to get a lot of yous on. I know there'll be other podcasts on, and I don't blame you. You'll have a variety of other podcasts you can switch between if you're on your phone or on your laptop. Please try to pop on. If I can make sense of a story, what could be developing if we're have someone coming into Glasgow International getting dumped into that Mercedes van with the black tints on it. He's getting drove to Celtic Park. All that cringy PR crap from Jerry McCulloch. Probably you'll probably get that crap as usual. Like honestly, the more technology develops, the more the world is getting cringier. You know, just simple. Announce them. Do a little interview with them. Don't blab too much onto why'd you come to Celtic or what you planning to do with Celtic. They're fucking planning to win trophies. You know what the height of success. You know what the bar is at Celtic. It's all about success. Don't be asking players the same fucking crap. You know all this. Oh, it does my night. It doesn't. How much have we made so far from the Europa? That's a good question, actually. Let me check. Let me check the Europa League prize money. Um, Europa League prize money. Now I ain't an accountant like Mr. Nicholson, but we'll see what the story is. See how much the prize money is for the Europa League. I'd probably say so to get into the Champions League, it's like 30 odd million into that league phase without playing games. It would be around it probably would be around 10 million from the Europa League being in it with revenue and stuff like that. Pushing about 10 million. I know it sounds a bit low. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Let's let's kick into this. We have it. We have it. We have one here. Europa League prize money. Thanks to Give Me Sports. Let's have a breakdown. Let's scroll down. Let's have a look. Right. So let's see. Where's the league phase? So 3.7 million for just getting there, right? You get 389 grand for a win. Okay. But we'll bring it up to say bring it to 4.5. Then what did we get for getting into the 260 grand for getting five? Probably about 10 million. All in about 10 million. Just below 10 million. We get to the quarterfinals. I know this is the round of 16, sorry. Playoff round. So 260 grand for getting into the playoff. And then another 1.5 million if you get past the quarterfinals, right? Get into the quarterfinals. There's 2.2 million if you get into the quarters. Get through that. What's the 3.9 to get it when you're in the semis? Then another 6.1 if you win to get into the final. So all in, there's a breakdown there, right? It's not a lot. It's about just under about 8, 9 million so far. Celtic have pocketed from the Europa League. It's not a lot, not a lot of money, to be honest, compared to the Champions League revenue is just well out of Wickers, well out of it. So I know, really mad difference between the Champions League and Europa League. Look at even the conference. The conference is a different level. I know you always say to yourself, "Oh, I wouldn't mind winning the Conference League just for the European trophy," but I don't know if we have the squad. We tried to go in and compete in the Conference League that year under Ange. What happened? We got absolutely rock bottom by the Boda Glimt. But regards to strikers, I don't think we're going. Look, Berry's gone to Hellas Verona. I don't think we're going to get Mr. Kasper off Boda Glimt, the Danish forward. He scored the other night for Boda Glimt over an Atletico. It's mental. Are we trying to get this French winger in installments? Yeah. How fucking we are. We're trying to work out a deal. It's probably going to be an add-on and stuff like that. The usual crap, you know. It's absolutely brutal. Celtic got 15 million for getting into the qualifiers. I don't believe it, you know, that way. I definitely don't believe it. As I said, we've seen the website is called Gimme Sport. Just type in Europa League prize money and it's there. The breakdown there. I think it's 289,000 for a win, something like that. A league phase win. It's a joke. And this Sean Maloney, obviously Martin O'Neill wasn't there because of God rest his soul. John Robertson's funeral was today. Maloney talked about having this role and recruiting players and analytics department and the scouting department, and then obviously Nicholson and whoever. I just think it's just desperate times, to be honest with you. It really is desperate times being a Celtic fan. And I know it's only temporary, this disappointment of this season of ups and downs and going over on your ankle 6 times or 7 times in the league. It's it's not a shock. Put it this way, it's not a shock. If we finish third, I will not be surprised because I'd be saying, you know what, that will actually wake up the remaining 10% of the fan base who actually cannot believe this is happening. That are with the green tints, living in cuckoo land. You get a lot. There's still a lot of them out there that still think this is all rosy. I still get folk. I work in an office and I get people that come in and these that are regular customers are, and they come in and they still think in their heads since they've been supporting Celtic and they watch the channel, they still think it's we're going to win the league. This is we have it. I think they're thinking because it's Celtic. They don't look at that squad and think, right, that's a winning squad. They look at it from a far distance and say, this is my football club. I'm emotionally attached to this club. We're gonna win this league. And sometimes you gotta step back and say to yourself, right, I said this last night, who's our 25 million player? Who's our key asset right now in the club? Who is the guy that we could turn around and say, right, we're putting him on the table? As much as we don't want to sell him, who's 25 million? You know? This is the thing. This is the thing. So I'll stay on for another 15 minutes, waiting for the missus to get home from work. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I've a I've a place to go tomorrow. I have a big day tomorrow, so I won't be on the podcast. I won't be doing videos tomorrow. I won't get the time of the day. I might try get on Sunday night. It'd be late. It'd be late Sunday night. It'd be probably about 10 o'clock Sunday night, folks. I'll get on and have a chat with you. So please tune in. I know it's quite late, people to be up for work and stuff. And I'll definitely be on Monday as well. 100% on Monday. Don't care if I'm in a cranky, tired meal from work. Sometimes going on to this podcast makes me feel like a happy man going to bed because I feel like I'm venting and I'm also providing what I can to you as well. So get the questions in. Will a new manager want the players if we sign any? Well, look, a new manager will come in and they'll have to work with them players. They're in long-term deals. Simple as. They give them a pre-season. They give them a year to work with them. Some of the players they might come that's been there already. I'm just giving an example. Say Luke McCown isn't working out at the moment for Celtic. Someone might come in the summer, which we're all hoping that we get a manager that has a pedigree of experience, has a philosophy of winning games, has a philosophy of actually managing in Europe in some standards, not someone from fucking Brazil or America or no disrespect to anyone over in the J League or the A League. I think this project needs someone that has experience of managing in Europe. Look, the Celtic job is one of the hardest jobs in football. From the outside, that's laughable because people say, "Oh, for fuck's sake, would you give it a break? It's Scottish Farmer League, would you? It's a fucking two-horse race. All that shit, you get that crap." Even though this year it's the three-horse race. Well, I still don't believe we're in this race until we can make up some ground, until we sign players, until we see character, until we start fucking taking our chances better. Then we're in this race. The time is ticking. The games are going down. The table's not fucking getting close. The gap's not getting fucking cut. You gotta look in that way, you know. I like Glasner from Palace. Glasner's gonna go to Man United or somewhere like that. He's gonna go somewhere good. You know, if I had my way, go for the Bournemouth manager. I think he'd do a good job. I don't think he'll come to Celtic. I think he'd be linked for the Man U as well. Um, could be a chance of even getting the fucking Liverpool job. He might, you know. I've talked about Robbie Keane on the channel hundreds of times. Robbie Keane has managed two clubs and has won titles, regardless who the fuck they are. He's won titles. He's made it count himself. He's now into the Europa League knockout stages. So you need to stop thinking of your politics and think about of the experience. You know, I I would love to go for the Bournemouth manager. That's my personal opinion. I think he's done really well. Got, he's got good out Ryan Christie as well. Obviously Ben Doak's injured at the moment as well. But I've said it, Newton would be my number one hit, but you're not going to get Newton. Why would you leave a club that's you know winning titles on a regular basis? I know they didn't win the Norwegian League last year. I think Viking won it last year. Um, he's got players there that actually play from that fight for each other. They're just a good solid squad. Why would you leave that to go to Celtic Football Club? Even though Celtic Football Club, maybe fan base, stadium wise, a superior club, but right now, Bodo Glimt are a more established team in Europe than Celtic in recent times. That's the facts. Club Brugge is more established than Celtic in Europe. Hoiberg is more established than Celtic in Europe. You know, fucking Genk is more established than Celtic in Europe in recent times. It just shows that we ain't at the level we want to be, and that's not us being self-entitled. When you win a European Cup, regardless if it was a long, long time ago in the black and white days, when you have a 60,000 seater stadium, when you have money in the bank, when you have season tickets, sell out all the time, and when you have a waiting list there, and when you're making so much money on merch, what does that show the vision for fans? You should be thinking yourself, fuck me, we're gonna have a good smack at this, you know, you know. Won't be surprised. Yeah, always linked with a meal to Fulham. It'd be a windfall for us. I think it's a 10% windfall. He was meant to go to Eintracht Frankfurt or Stuttgart, I think it was in the last window, and it fell through the last hurdle. Alfie, how are you getting on? I hope you're doing well. By the way, folks, how is the sound? I'm using the earpods. How's the picture quality? It's a 720, so um, they're I've got the ring light on. I actually have the green ring light as well. I forgot about that. I thought I'd be I've got that set up much better now for these podcasts. Got the keyboard, got the laptop, got the lovely mouse. Thanks to me, missus. No more of that noise I hear in the mouse. You know, we shouldn't need to create hunger. Hunger should be there. When you see fans outside the stadium waiting, when you get off that bus, you should have that vibe that you know that this club means everything to them. They go to bed thinking about Celtic, they wake up thinking about Celtic. It's their part of their mind frame, you know. You finish second, you finish third. It's a fucking failure. It's a failure, you know. It's a failure. And we all know it. We've been there, we've seen it before where we finished second, where there's been times where Celtic finished fourth. But this season you will learn a lot from it in a way that, we're not here to argue with each other and say, like, you were right since the start of the season. This was the way we were going. Oh, you were wrong about this. Oh, you threw the toys out of the pram after Almaty. You just lost hope in that team. Why you dissing the team? Like, this is what you get. This is what I signed up for, by the way. But the sound's good, the quality's good. Look at I'll get back to the 1080 when when bills are going, when I when I pay all my bills. Bills are being paid, but when I have more resources, I'll get back to doing this on live Facebook and live other platforms as well, because I have a big following on Facebook of 81,000 there, and I want to engage with these people that support the channel as well and get their opinions, because StreamYard ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. 30 quid a bleed month. That's the internet bill. But look, we'll get there. It's a privilege always talking to this, but it's gonna be interesting. That's all I can say. Hopefully get over the line on Sunday against Falkirk. Get over the line. Scrappy win, probably will be. Doesn't matter. Just get 3 points at this rate. I don't care how bad football we play. To be honest with you, I'm used to it this, and doesn't matter. Once you get the job done and get the 3 points, you move on. Yes, as much as we'll say, oh, this player's been bad, that player's been bad. This squad are deflated. They're trying to recover from losing Brendan. I wouldn't even say losing Nancy. I'm sure they were all delighted to get rid of Nancy. You know, the generation only knows Celtic winning though. This 90s Celtic that I lived with Tommy Burns. Do you know what? I put up a video earlier on my socials of when Celtic beat Hamilton 8-0. 8-0 in 1988. McGee scored a hat trick. Frank McAvenny scored a hat trick. Miller scored. And was it Stark? Stark scored as well. Away at Hamilton. Yellow kit. The C.R. Smith. Well before my time. But then it just, you gotta look at them teams and you say to yourself, fucking hell, they were proper players. They were the boys that could go out in the rip for two or three times that week and still put the shirt up and do it. Still put the shirt on and fight for the cause. These guys now are bleeding prima donnas. They're more focused on bleeding, getting pictures with artists and fucking doing little cringy boot deals and all that crap. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. You're getting paid a salary, a main base salary, to put that shirt on, go into battle, win fucking games. If I had my way, pay as you play. That's what I do with half of the squad. See the likes of Vickers and all and Jota and all this. Look they brought us moments, but they fucking do me nothing. They do me nothing. You have players that are getting a full fucking base salary for sitting there on a treatment room table for a year and a half. It's not fucking good enough. And you have to feel sorry for them because they get a bad injury and it takes a bit of time to come back from this. But at the same time, why should they be getting a fucking full salary for not turning up and doing their job? You know, simple as. I'm being ruthless because you have to be ruthless. You have to be ruthless because too many players these days are getting away with fucking too much murder. And first Celtic game, what, let me see, 1975. Jesus Christ. Fair deuce. Fair deuce. I wish I could be fucking going back to 1975. Like something a Pulp Fiction I would be. Keeps the job. Some of the players you can see it. That's it. They just some of them just go and play a game. They don't think about the logistics of it. They don't think about how much and it can upset fans, how much bring back Greg Taylor. Fucking a heartbeat. Take him back. I'll take Greg Taylor back in a heartbeat. Look, it wasn't the most technically gifted player in my eyes, but he's a guy who got Celtic. That was a guy that went through the Rangers youth system, then ended up going to Kilmarnock, then signed for Celtic in 2019, and was a big part of our success. You know, Saturday and Sunday are not trading days. We will sign nobody. Never say never in the transfer window. Never say never, Danny. You know, I know what you're saying, stock markets and all that kind of stuff, all that stuff, that jazz. But if you get the deal over the line, get them flown over, then do the medical on Monday morning, deal done, you never know. Um, we were alive when Rangers died, exactly. As Sefco died. Fergus paid the bank, saved the club, saved the club, you know. Now we've got a dickhead of Dermot Desmond, who is a majority shareholder. And I hate when Sky Sports call him the principal shareholder. He's just a dickhead. Like his son. Like that gobshite. That's has the patches of red around his head and then the big egg on the top. Michael Nicholson. Step up and show what you're made. Step up and stop fucking fleecing the fans and getting 900k a year and you're not doing enough. Like why is he hiding? Is he the new Osama bin Laden or something? Because I can't I haven't seen the last time Michael Nixon actually done a proper an engagement with fans. Yeah, he does a little sleazy interview. Backs Will for Nancy. Looks like a gobshite. Is he the new Osama bin Laden? Because I'll tell you one thing, can't be seen. It's better chance of the Rangers coming out before he fucking does at this rate. Yeah, he said there's three on the way. He's hoping to get three. It's not guaranteed we're going to get three players in. It's not guaranteed. You know, as I said, could fall in the last hurdle. Could be a medical, could be personal terms, could be a fee, could be down to visas. There's a lot. As I said, we're football fans and we all just want this and we want that, but the logistics behind it as well. Ah, should have a bleeding statue outside Celtic Park. Fergus McCann should. What a man. What a man. And yeah, some fans booed him a couple of times he's been at Celtic Park. Like, what the fuck would you boo a man that saved your club? It doesn't matter. He didn't spend money after a couple of seasons. What matters is he built a fucking stadium. Brings a stadium, a good fucking stadium. You know. My first team, Halfrey, McCoy, McKennedy. Jesus, look at that team. Stevie Chalmers. I know. 1963, Danny. Jesus. And you're still fit and healthy than ever, you know? What's your thoughts on getting Howe in or not? I think it's going to be hard to get him in. I think if you're looking about, I think he's put his price tag up over the last two Champions League games, especially against Man City and Atletico Madrid. I think he's a 10 million player. Obviously, Norwich are sniffing around for him as well. This is the problem. Like, why the fuck would you want to go for a team that's in the Championship? That are, like, where are Norwich? Last time I checked, Norwich were like fourth last in the Championship or something, or fifth last. Norwich City. Yeah, I know they pumped West Brom. 0-0 against Middlesbrough. That's a good result for them. 18th. Why would you want to join a team that's 18th in the Championship for fucking the Scottish Premiership? Don't get me wrong, it is a better league, but Carrow Row is a shithole. It's a shithole. The best thing that Norwich City ever had was Wes Houlihan. Simple as, or Fraser Foster on loan, or when Paul Lambert was managing him. That's about it. Adam Eda, I don't like Norwich. I despise Norwich City. Fucking hate them. Simple as, shite club. What was that gobshite that who used to be the owner? Say we can't hear. He was the one that roiled up the fucking fans. That gobshite that used to own them. Can't stand them. Absolutely stand them. You know. Oh, they beat Coventry. Then why am I getting nil all? Did they beat Coventry? Oh, they're playing Middlesbrough nil. Middlesbrough, Jesus, sorry. Why are you keeping tabs on Norwich for? You are even worse. Oh, who gives a, you know? Oh God. I do think we have a couple of closet Norwich fans in here, do we? Fuck the Canaries. Fuck them. There was a page saying that the deal with Norwich might not happen. You're gonna get pages that do it all the time. Um, we need to get the guy up out of Glint. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think they'll do a deal with Celtic. Simple as. Don't think, not no European, because it's all about money. Like the championship. The thing about the championship is, yeah, it's a stepping stone into English football, into the Premier League. If your team are actually flying high like Middlesbrough, and you get signed there, and you get into the Premier League for next season, happy days. But it's a fucking honestly, Alan Partridge. Oh God. Um, I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I'm sorry. I hate Norwich City. So West Hillland was like the god for them, like the Messi for them. But I just can't stand them. Them and Ipswich. Hate them. Absolutely despise them. Fuck the championship. um, Philly Clermont is the manager, I know. What about the Motherwell manager? Seems to be doing all right. I just don't know. Della Smith, that's the one. Della Smith. Della Smith. Oh God. The big bean head and her. Let's get a picture of big Della up. The Della. The Della the Smith. And she's wearing that scarf and she's giving the fans all the abuse and all. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Oh God. Oh, she's not brown bread. There's me mocking him. Oh, she's not brown bread. Oh, there she is there. The Munter herself. Oh God. It's- Oh, the Munter. She's like something out of Harry Potter, she is. Oh God. Let's see. Oh, there she is. There's our Della. There's our Della. Della Benassi there. Look at her. With the Ukraine flag on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Buying into that propaganda shite. You got half of them do. Look at that thing. Look at that. That's a face that only a mother can love, you know? But oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I just did one of them moods tonight. Oh God. God. She reminds you of that Anne Budge. That Budge. The Budge. Oh, that famous rant is the best. It's Comedy Central. We got a great player from them so-called Adamida. Look, Adamida was actually done decent with Celtic on that loan basis. He was a good player. But see, when he signed the permanent, croc, and I feel sorry for Adam, I really do. I do, but he's injured now. According to the story, there was a story going around that he knew that his Celtic career was ended in the last game he played at half time or something like that. Paid his way. But look, we got 7 million out of him considering he was 9. And look at that 2 million, whatever you want to say, even though that was after the long move. We made it back on 2 trophies, you could say. Scottish Cup and the league title, which is good. Um calm yourself down, would you? Let's evaluate this in May. If he wins the league for us, like similar to what Ada does, yeah, you know. She drinks vinegar. Leave her Della alone with you. Della Smith. Bless her. Bless her. Think about her and Fiddy Clement. Look like a happy couple now. You know, definitely the Harry Potter sequel going on there. She reminds you of the one of Harry Potter, the teacher, the grumpy teacher. That's who she reminds you of. Ah, I can't even think. Oh, God. God. God, what a podcast tonight. What a podcast. Um, I want to give a shout out as well to this the streets with my member for this jumper. I got this back last year. Sent me a hat as well. He's a good little he's a good little shop there. Great cracking hats and stuff like that he does. Falkirk Sunday giving me the shits. Falkirk are good side. Where are you now on the table? Are they still in sixth place, Eddie? Dell is on my screen. I need to get I might put her as my screensaver. Della Smith CSC. Um how are Falkirk getting on? I'm that type of person, right? I just honestly, I just don't care. I don't look at other results much in the league if it's only like Bar Hibs or Rangers or fucking Hearts. So Falkirk are sixth. How did they get on the last few games? Let's have a look. Jesus, they hammered Hibs 4-1. I remember that last week actually. Um, beat Hearts and penalties in in the Scottish Cup. They're a good side. Beating Aberdeen 1-0. Beating St Mirren away in Paisley, um, beating Kilmarnock away, unlucky to lose to Dundee, 10 men Dundee. Look, they're a good side. They're going to take no prisoners at Celtic Park. They scored Celtic Park this season in the League Cup. They've scored there in the League Cup last season as well. So if I was a betting man, I know it sounds crazy because I'm on a Celtic podcast, I'd be putting both teams to score Celtic 2-1 on Sunday. Well, Bowie's gone now. Bowie's gone to Hellas Verona. What's the story with Mulligan? You know, what's the story with Mulligan? There's pressure on Gray. Gray's done well with Hibs, but you know what? Would you like to see McLean back at Paradise as manager? No, I'd like to see him in the coaching capacity. Like, I think he's good enough to take. I think his next job should be the Aberdeen job, to be honest, or the Hibs job. I think he'd do well. I know he's linked with a Hearts job in the past. I think he'd do well as Hibs manager. I think he could get. I think he could make Hibs be a force. And what I mean by a force is push for third place. You know, but now there's some gems in the Scottish League. As I said, Master Ise from Motherwell, we should be really considering going in. If this deal falls through with this gobshite from Italy, no disrespect to the guy, but I don't know much about him. We could all go on YouTube and look at fucking a guy looking like Lionel Messi, these best clips, but it's what they actually do. Like, you know, the Scottish game is improving. You know, it's the same with the Irish League. Some gems in the Irish League. There's a bit of interest now with the Irish League. That guy Boyce from used to play for Hearts, he's gone back to Derry. James McLean's gone back to Derry. Paddy McLean's at Derry. You wouldn't be surprised if Derry to win the league and the League of Ireland. Put money on that as well. See, but look at the players that are coming out of Scottish football that are making the move over to Italy. Would you trade a cold, windy night in Livingston to be playing over and bleeding Italy? Playing. It's weird because Balagwisha was actually shitting his YouTube clips. Balagwisha, you didn't see enough of him in his YouTube clips. I liked his stats when he was at Antwerp and then Stand of the Edge. I really think Celtic will listen to offers for him. I know it sounds crazy. I think they'll listen to offers from him and do him out. But at the same time, will the manager come in and revitalise him in the summer? You never know. You never know. Mulligan's a baller. I like Mulligan. Is it Josh Mulligan in there? Someone that we could like. If I was looking at midfielders in the Scottish League, I'd be looking at getting Josh Mulligan and Elliot Watt. Like Mulligan's what age is he? 23? 23. He's only. Let's have a look. This is the great. As I said this year before, folks. Get this app on your phone. FotMob has everything on it. Like 31 games, 3 goals, 1 goal, 5 assists, 21 starts, 20 in 22 games. Average rate is 7.3 this season. 6 yellow cards. That's standard for a centre mid. Not a lot of goals he's gained, but he's more. It looks like he's more like you could play him that defensive midfield role. I think he's a box to box player. I think he could be ideal for replacing Callum McGregor in that position. Now, some people might be stubborn and say, I'd rather Luke McCown than Mulligan. I think Josh Mulligan. Yeah, he has an ankle injury. He was expected to be back in late February, but I'd still take a punt on him. Still take a punt on him. You know, um, he'll be a guy that will go. That will put the Hibs will put 5 million on him in the summer. If Hibs finish fourth or fifth, they'll put 5 million on him. You know, his contract finishes in May 2029 as well. So he could be. The only thing is he has he been capped for Scotland at all? Like they're saying national team. Has he been capped for Scotland in senior level? I know Bowie has. Like this, likes a shot from outside the box as well. Like this, I love this app. So good. Breaks down everything. But like some decent performance there. Like look at 7.7 against Aberdeen, a 2-0 win, 8.6. Like even that game he had against St. Mirren, he was on fire in Paisley. You know? Yeah, Elliot Watt. I'm impressed with Elliot Watt as well. I think he's injured as well. Elliot Watt. Motherwell. Have a look at him. Now the only thing is he's a couple of years older. He's 25, but he's a bit of a baller as well. Let's have a look at Elliot Watt. Hope you're enjoying the podcast tonight, folks, as well. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. As I said, I will be doing a transfer deadline day podcast. So Elliot Watt, he's expected to return unknown. Like this guy has a year left in his contract, year and a half left in his contract. Why are we not going for someone like him? He fucking stormed the game against Celtic. Look at 8.6 against Celtic. Like, why are we not going for players like this? 4 goals, 2 assists, 20 starts. No, typical Celtic board, penny pinching bastards. Honestly, penny pinching fucks. They just don't like spending money. They hate spending money. They'll let the fucking the ship sink. Honestly, Captain Nicholson wants that fucking ship to sink alongside fucking Captain Bleeding Dermot Desmond and his crony Ross fucking Desmond. Like, I just really believe we're missing out on gems here in the Scottish League. Josh Mulligan, some people might say we missed out on him, but I wish Berry all the very best. You know? Ronan Hale moving to Gillingham. Hale wasn't a bad player. Is that the guy that played for Dundee, is it? Ronan Hale? Is that the guy who scored, or Ross County or something that scored against us before? Ronan Hale. Ross County, that's the one. 27. Sure, was he not a Celtic fan? Played for Pats and all he did. Done alright for Pats. Cliftonville. 50 goals in 79 games. Jesus. Derry City. He bossed in the League of Ireland. Done well for Ross County. 68 games, 30 goals. Like, mental. Mental. That's it. Look at, what's his name? You're talking about Lennon Miller. Lennon Miller, that's the one. I take him back. According to the rumours going around that he's homesick. He's not settled in Italy. I'd be fucking settled. I'd be bleeding, having me glass of vin on me, me pizzas. I'd be taking the scenery in. Oh God, he's not really getting much in he. 12 games so far for Udinese. 1 goal, 400 minutes he's played. He's had 2 decent performances. Last outing, played Hellas Verona. They won 3-1, and he got played 77 minutes. He got 7.5. Played against Inter Milan, beaten 1-0, 5.8, 46 minutes. Then he played against Torino, and he won 2-1 away, 7.4, 80 minutes. Yeah, he's getting a little bit of minutes. Some games he's getting a hit and miss. He's averaging around 70 minutes a game. You know, play for Cliftonville. Remember when the board punted 9 million for French Eddie? What a payoff that was. How much did we sell Eddie for? 19 million. 19 million. So need to go, Keith. Cheers. Cheers to the chat. I will be back on, folks. Maybe Sunday night. It depends what time I get back from where I'm going to be. If not, I'll be definitely on Monday. I'll definitely be on Monday. So if you know what, I might do a podcast tomorrow. I'll be out on the walk. I'll be out on a walk at 9 o'clock in the morning. I might be on a walk around the park. So if I get on, if you're out of your bed and you're eating your fry or you're having your cup of tea, you might get a notification from me. Tom, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. We're still not any closer to signing these 3 players. It's all stalled. But you know what? Have a little patience, as they say. Run out of patience. So I'm going to leave it, folks. I better go to bed anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Speak to you all soon.